out for a joyride. Stop calling about it.
Hey, Deadpool, it's Domino. So I got another contract for you if you're interested. The coin is good, so just let me know. Oh, and regarding that other thing you texted me about, I can't. I mean, it was just supposed to be that one time, and anyway, just call me.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video, and today, man, we talking about Deadpool. Yes, Deadpool. Now, of course, the trailer came out not too long ago, talking about, like, you know, that Logan and / Wolverine would be in the new Deadpool movie. And they came with a lot of questions because people were basically talking about how does the game tie into this, the Wolverine game. People wanted to know whether Deadpool was getting a new game because, you know, Deadpool did actually have a game and I liked it. It was okay. But to be honest, with insomniac, you know, kind of being the best and the GOAT in terms of making, you know, Marvel games, you kind of wish that they would give Deadpool a insomniac version of Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, because the way I look at it, Deadpool to me is like Deadpool was always my favorite hero. Little backstory: I played Ultimate Alliance a lot when I was younger. I played it with, you know, the co-op, and generally it was one of my favorite games of all time. You know, I loved playing it. I thought that, like, all the costumes and, you know, collectibles you could get were really, really interesting. That's one thing I love about comic book games, is that there's a lot of collectibles and stuff to look at, and that's kind of cool. You know, I like that. That's kind of cool. I feel like that's a great way to add, like, maybe extra content into your game. But I loved everything about it, man. I love that you get to choose the teams and stuff in Civil War, which one you want to be, and different heroes. Like, this is where I met, you know, the character that was gonna be my favorite character, and that was Deadpool. Because he had for one, he was like breaking the fourth wall, which is something I always love. And anything I watch, I love when characters break the fourth wall. In certain stuff though, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it can take the immersion out of it, so I can see why some characters don't do it. But with Deadpool, I really do like it. I mean, it's just his character trait. You know, it's him. It's what he does. I love the story that he's basically the same as Wolverine, but he went, you know, crazy. And I love the movies, man. When I really got into the movies, it took me a minute to actually watch the Deadpool movie. I don't know why. You know how it is when you like a certain character, you like them before a lot of people did. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Ultimate Alliance was a really popular game, so it's not saying that I was the first person to like Deadpool, but you know, when you like a character, or you like a, you know what I'm saying, and like people started reading it, or it's like with anime and manga. Like, you know, if you were to watch an anime or read a manga or something, and it's very hype, you try to tell everybody about it, but everybody's just like, nah, you know, I'm not gonna read it, I'm not gonna watch it. And then eventually the anime or the manga gets hype, or it gets like really, really good, and then all of a sudden it's like Attack on Titan, you know. A little bit off topic, but I wanted to try to explain it for people who are familiar with anime. But basically, imagine just you're on the wave of something way before everybody else, and then all of a sudden it becomes popularized. Now everybody likes your favorite character. It's not saying that it's possessive. It's just one of those things, you know. Yeah, but I've always liked Deadpool. I feel like he didn't get enough support until, you know, just recently. I feel like everybody loves his movies now. Everybody loves everything about him now. He did get a game though, so I really can't say much because he did get a game. That's more than a lot of other superheroes or anti-heroes, if you want to call it. But hopping back on track, with that movie coming out in 2024, could we see something related to Deadpool? I think we could though. I'm not gonna lie, I think we actually could. Like, considering he's not a household name, but he's very, very popular now. And now that he's in the MCU, Disney has the big bags and stuff. I'm pretty sure whoever owns the licensing for his games and stuff could do something to bring something out. The problem is that with how licensing works, I'm not quite sure. I know that stuff like, okay, EA, we're gonna jump off topic for just a second. I want to kind of get into this real quick. With EA, they had the license for Star Wars, so they were the only ones that can make Star Wars games, I'm assuming, and that's how that worked. But they are now like losing that license, and now Star Wars is gonna go with other publishers to see what they can do with their games. You know, Star Wars is a big franchise, and I don't know if all of Marvel's games publishing is just handed out to different people, or is it like the licensing rights for Spider-Man and the MCU? Like, Sony owns Spider-Man, you know, obviously, so that is probably why they can give that to Insomniac Games, because that is a PlayStation studio. Like, that all makes sense because, you know, they own Spider-Man, like the likeness of Spider-Man and all his characters. So of course they can give it to their main in-house studio, which is Insomniac, and get them to make a game that's specifically for PlayStation, that's Spider-Man, which is what they own. It's all connected. So I don't really know who owns Deadpool's rights. I'm assuming they are character by character, or you know, just in general. I don't know who owns the rights, but it probably won't be an exclusive. And if they do hold the rights and they hold like the rights by contract and stuff, then and they don't want to make a game to capitalize on the hype, or they can't, or they don't really feel like it's worthy, we might not get one. But I definitely think we'll get one because his hype is growing by the day. And you know, like I said, he already got one before, and it was a pretty decent game. I actually did like the game a lot. I thought it was really fun. But with the Wolverine game coming out, it's a good chance that we could see something that'll spin off from that. I mean, hey, with Spider-Man and Wolverine, they're both done by insomniac, so it's a good chance that Marvel owns the Wolverine thing and they license it to insomniac, they can do the same for Deadpool. Now, question: if he does get him a game, what would you like to see in it? This is my question for today, because you can either go with two aspects. You go the kind of silly route, like there's also comics where he basically kills the whole Marvel universe. It's like, you know, would you like to see a whole bunch of different characters into the game that Deadpool just kills? That would be a cool way to kind of do that storyline. But the problem with that, man, is that it seems like they're trying to create a game universe. You know, they got Spider-Man. I know I said Spider-Man like 30 times in this video, but they got Spider-Man and they got Miles Morales, they got Wolverine now. If they do a Deadpool game, the problem with the Deadpool game is that he has a lot of like guest stars in some of his comics and stuff. Like he does stuff with Wolverine a lot, does stuff with other heroes, because a lot of his comedy is kind of trolling other heroes. He works really well with Spider-Man, which is why I think that actually could happen, to be honest. Like a lot of his, like even he was in also Spider-Man, you know, he shows up a lot around Spider-Man. Wolverine shows up a lot around Spider-Man. So I could see that them in themselves being like a game cinematic universe. I guess it isn't cinematic if it's just games, but I can definitely see that happening. But I don't know where they would go with the story. Would they follow him from Weapon X and, you know, maybe show how he became what he was? Will it be like the movies? Well, we'll see a little bit of that, but it's mainly based on what he does now. I honestly, if I had to choose, I would probably choose like a, now hear me out, it's gonna sound silly. I would probably choose an Assassin's Creed type of vibe, only because, and I say this very only because I feel like it could be really good if it's more of a, hey, this is the target you need to kill. You need to figure out how you want to kill him. And you have all Deadpool's abilities and, you know, maybe like an open world like with Spider-Man. It can be something along those lines, like contract killing. You know, you have to kill this guy. He's very bad. And then, you know, there's ways you got to find out the information about the guy. You know, stuff that you got to do that'll move you around the map and stuff. And you get his abilities, you know. Because I remember in the games he had teleportation, but I don't think he has that. I think that's just an aspect of the games. I think they did show it in the Wolverine Origins movie that he could teleport, but from what my research basically says is that he has a various number of devices that he can use that actually teleport, which is probably something that should be known a lot more. But they are what allow him to kind of, you know, jump back and forth and teleport and do all of that. He has the same abilities as Wolverine, obviously, except for without the super claws. He's a highly impressive mercenary. So I think this movie is going to be fire. I think that, you know, people are speculating that he's going to be in the movie like 1 second, like 1 minute at the end of the movie. He's going to be in the movie because that's the way Hollywood is doing it now. But we won't jump off track too far. We already did like the most of the video. I'll just say this to close out. I think with the insomniac right now, they're hot. Everybody's waiting for their next project because they've dropped 2 games in Miles Morales and Spider-Man 1, where the games were so fantastic. The way you played them didn't make you feel stale. I mean, Spider-Man has suits. Miles Morales had electricity powers in suits. They created an ecosystem where they can keep expanding this universe, keep introducing characters. And with the comics, you have so many vast characters that the MCU itself will be powering all this Marvel game universe, to be honest. Like, you can't go wrong with making these characters because superheroes are hot right now. There might be a time later in the future where they're not really as hot. I mean, you know, already people are saying the movies are falling off. So you have to take this opportunity right now to build this kind of Marvel game universe that you really want to build. You know, I don't know necessarily one universe where it's like all the games are intertwined, like all the games from different properties are intertwined and stuff. That could be cool, except for something like Smash. But with that being said, guys, what do you want? What do you expect from a Deadpool game? What do you want from a Deadpool game? Do you want a really gory type of adventure. I definitely think it has to have killing in it. Like it can't be that he doesn't kill, because that would be stupid to me. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.